Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am finally getting around to filming my lash video, or how I do my mascara video. I have been asked, this has been a video that has been requested for quite some time now. So I'm glad that I can finally get around to filming it. Before I zoom you in and start talking about what I actually do for my lashes, I want to talk about a couple of things that I think are important and that I do and that attribute to the way my lashes look when I have mascara on. And that is first how I clean my lashes. And I know that sounds really weird, but it is important, I have found, to the health and state of your eyelashes. So I recommend, first of all, not wearing a waterproof mascara. Now, obviously there are times like if you are in a wedding or going to a wedding or something of that nature, there are instances where you want to wear a waterproof, and there are going to be people who say, oh, but what, nothing but waterproof holds my curl. And look, this is just my tips. You are going to do you, and you are going to do what works for you. I personally find that waterproof mascara is not different enough when on the lashes. It can be heavier. So, a lot of people say that it holds their curl. I find that it's heavier than non-waterproof, therefore it doesn't hold the curl as long. That's just my experience. And it's a lot harder to get off when you're washing your face. Because of that, you may tend to pull at your lashes a little bit more, which in turn will either break the lashes or pull the lash out. And obviously you're not going to have healthy long lashes if you don't have many to begin with. So I find that using a very gentle eye makeup remover, which, like the one that I will insert a picture right here, the Sephora waterproof eye makeup remover, is my all-time favorite. I find that using something like that on a very soft cotton pad, like the Shiseido cotton pads, which I'll also insert a picture, those two together are my absolute favorite way of removing my mascara after I have used a gentle cleansing balm and cleanser. So once I'm done with that, I will go in with my lash conditioner. I get asked all the time, what lash conditioner do you use? I have used a couple. Started off probably a little over 2 years ago using Revitalash, which is the one I'm going to talk about today, and it looks like this. I went through an entire tube, which lasted me about 6 months, and I felt like it stopped working, so I went to New Lash. That was great, lasted me about 6 months. I felt like it stopped working. I went back to Revitalash. The Revitalash was great, and I stuck with it. So this is probably the 4th tube that I have used altogether of Revitalash, because they do last me a good 6 to 7 months. But I've stuck with this because I get the best results from it. My eyes don't burn, I don't have any side effects, and it really works. When I first started using it, I used it every single day, and I did not see anything really until about 3 months. After about 3 months, I woke up and overnight my eyelashes were like twice as long. Once I got to that step, I probably lasted another 2 months using it every day. Now I use it 3 times a week because I'm at the spot where I want to be, and it's really just for maintenance. What I'm saying is be patient in the beginning, and once you get to that spot, you can save even more money and make it last even longer by downing the amount of times you actually apply it throughout the week. So that's both at night. So now we get up the next morning, we put our makeup on. Mascara is the very last thing I do. And so I have done everything right now except mascara. So now we're actually going to get to the good stuff. I'm going to put my hair up and we're going to zoom. I'm probably going to zoom you in a little bit more, but right now I'm going to show you how I curl my lashes. Some people don't curl their lashes. I was one of them. For a very long time, I did not touch my lashes with a curler. I was kind of scared of them. I did not want to yank them out. And then once I got on the curler train, I don't think I'll ever go back. It really does make a huge difference. I have tried multiple curlers, and before anyone asks, no, I have not tried Surratt. But out of all the ones that I have tried, by far my favorites are the Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curlers. I've shown them before in previous videos, but basically they open very wide, so you don't have any kind of issue getting every single lash into the curler. And some don't open that wide, and you can sometimes clip off lashes or pinch lashes, and that's not the goal. We don't want to pull them out, we want to curl them. So I find that this works the best. So what I do is I look down into a mirror, I take my curler and I press it almost onto my eyelid so that I can ensure all lashes will be in the curler. I start near the base of the lashes and I gently press once to make sure I have no skin, and I pump You can see my fingers. I pump the curler probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I take it out of take the lashes out of the curler. I put them back in and I go probably to the middle of the lashes and pump some more. At the very last pump, I squeeze with the most pressure. I release and I have curled lashes. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell the difference. So this, whoops. So this side is not curled, that side is. I personally can tell a huge difference. I can feel a difference because the top of my lashes are now touching my brow bone, whereas I cannot feel the lashes touching at all on this side. So let's curl the other side. Now I will say, if you have super straight lashes, because I know that there are a lot of people who struggle with that, where they don't have natural curl at all, they just literally grow straight out. If you curl them and find that a curler helps, because not all lashes are benefited from a curler. If they're super straight, sometimes they don't curl at all, and a curler is not going to benefit you. But if they do, what I like to say for that, and by the way, my eyebrow right here is peeling, so that's why it looks all sketchy. All right, so what I like to say for that is to take the curlers and put them gently and then pull the curler out from your face like this and then curl. On regular lashes, that will give a little bit more of an actual crimp, which is not what you're looking for, but on straighter lashes, it will do the job of curling better than the typical technique that I showed you on this eye. I do typically always do my bottom lashes first, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the MAC Giga Black Lash. There's no trick to this, although I do really recommend either this mascara or another tubing mascara, and that will ensure that the bottom lashes do not smudge, or the mascara on the bottom lashes does not smudge, because in order for a tubing mascara to come off, it needs warm water. After I do put my mascara on, I will gently rub my finger around the base to ensure that any extra mascara is off and will not end up on my under eyes. I like this mascara also because the wand ensures that everything is separated really well. All right, let's get to the good stuff. No certain trick to this, it's just the products that I use, and I know a lot of people ask, so I'm gonna show you. I am high maintenance on some things in my life. One thing for certain I am high maintenance on is my eyelashes, so I do use 3 different products on them. The first of which is the Jane Iredale Pure Lash Lash Extender and Conditioner, and it looks like this. This is a conditioner. I don't find it does a ton to actually prime my eyes, but I do think it conditions them, which keeps them soft, just like we condition our hair, because our lashes are hair. And when we condition our hair, it doesn't break as much, and the same goes for lashes. So I like this, and I also do find that it helps extend the time in between my Revitalash, because it does have growth abilities in it. And I have a friend who only uses this, and her eyelashes are, like, she doesn't use Revitalash or anything. Her eyelashes are to die for, and she solely attributes it to the Jane Iredale. Now I'm going in with another primer. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Base. I have tried the Dior. I have tried the Lancome. I have tried, what other expensive base? Does Chanel have one? Because I feel like I've tried one from Chanel. This is by far my favorite. It is white. I know some people don't prefer white, but the mascaras that I use don't have an issue covering up the white. So I am really working this primer on. And if you noticed, I did not wait any time between the Jane Iredale and this primer. And I also did not put the Jane Iredale on the other lash. So I am just working on this lash until it's completely done, and then I will go over to the next. The reason is I don't like to give my primers time to dry in between coats before mascara, because I find the mascara will then tug versus coat, and again, it can break lashes, be harder to cover. I just find it's easier when you don't let it dry. Some people will tell you otherwise. This is what works best for me. So then I go straight in with my mascara. My favorite to date is the Bare Minerals Lashtopia Mega Volume Mineral Based Mascara. It looks like this. This is the second tube that I'm working on, and this is what the wand looks like. It's a natural wand, so it's not plastic or spiky. Those tend to irritate my eyes. So I'm taking this to the base of my lash and really working my way up. I don't care if at first it doesn't cover all of it, because what I want to do is make sure that base is covered. Because when you'll see in the end, it makes a big difference as to how black the base of your lashes are. Then I will start wiggling it up and trying to cover all of that primer. Now, I always, if you see, look very, very, very far down into a camera to where my eye almost looks closed when you're looking on it. This is because my lashes are longer, and if I were to put it on looking straight ahead, I would have a line of mascara from the tips of my lashes that transferred onto my lid before the mascara had a chance to dry. Now, I still have a little bit of white. Let me see if I can get y'all close. I still have a little bit of white right there, so what I do is I like to go from the other side and just coat that just a little bit from the other side. Don't want to do it too much because I don't want to make it too heavy and mess up the curl. But I do want to ensure that all of that white is covered. So you notice I've not gone back into the mascara tube. I am still working all the product by twisting the wand around onto my lashes. I am not concerned if lashes stick together. That is not my goal right now. My goal right now is to get them fully coated with the mascara. So that is the first eye pretty much done. We may go in with a second coat, but right now I want you to look at the difference between this eye that has absolutely nothing, it has been curled and that's it, versus this eye which has the 2 primers and the mascara. So you can see not a lot. I can't personally see much white. By the time we get that second coat on there, you're not going to. There's a couple of lashes that are sticking together, but again, I'm not going to worry about that until after we do our second coat. I can very well leave it at this. I have many a times only done a 1 coat and I've been perfectly fine with it. For the basis of this video, we are going to go do 2 coats, but that is what it looks like with 1. Before I go in and do the other eye, I will say if you're someone like me who doesn't prefer to wear liner, there is going to be oftentimes a little bit of smudging on your eyelid, especially if you choose a mascara like the Bare Minerals that has a fatter wand on it. So before it has a chance to dry, if any has gotten onto my lash line, I will either buff it out or I will take whatever eyeshadow that I used on my lid and just kind of cover that up a little bit more. It's not going to be that noticeable to many people at all, but it's just if it makes you feel better. So I'm going to speed through this next lash eye situation, and then we will talk about what my final steps to my lashes. Right, I am going to quickly do a second coat. I'm not going to be as precise as the first. I really just wanted to coat it a second time, hence second coat. And I like the time in between that this eye has to dry. This one doesn't have as much time to dry down for the second coat, but that's okay. It is giving me some nice clumpy lashes so I can show you how I separate them. Okay, so I've showed this tool before. It's very old school. It's not exactly something I would necessarily recommend, but it's what works for me, and it's one of the old like tortoiseshell barrettes that we used to wear when we were in like middle school, except they never held my hair back because it was so fine. So I open it like this and I just kind of maneuver it in between the lashes that are clumped together right at the base, kind of manipulate them apart. You can also get clean spoolies from Amazon, disposable ones. They're very cheap, and use those if you want, but I find something a little bit sharper, but definitely not like a straight pen. That is not safe. Helps me manipulate in between. So that is my mascara routine. I have one final thing I do to ensure that my lashes look the thickest that they can, and that is tight line. I know not everybody agrees with tight lining. They don't know if they don't say it's very good for your eyes. I'm going to let that debate be within yourselves. I personally tight line every day that I wear mascara. I find that it makes a huge difference, and when you curl your lashes, if you can see, it makes that little area a little bit more evident because you are pulling it up. So it makes it a little bit more noticeable to anyone looking. So I like to take a black pencil, my favorite pencil for tight lining, if you can tell, this is my second one and I am down to like the little nub, is the Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pen. I always have this linked down in my description bar because again, I use it every single day. And when I tight line, I give the illusion that the base of my lashes is that much darker and fuller. So it helps the lash in general look bigger and fuller and more voluminous. And that, my friends, is my long-winded mascara routine. I can assure you that when I'm doing it without talking, it takes me less than 5 minutes to do both eyes, and it's something that I just don't skip. I just don't. It's rare that I will just wear mascara without those primers, without curling my lashes, because I figure if I'm going to go to the trouble of even putting mascara on, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to do it to where my eyelashes look the best. So I cannot attribute my lashes to any one thing within this routine because I do it all together. I don't know what makes them look the best that they can look, but I know that I'm happy with my routine and that I like the finished outcome. And hopefully this helped you in some way, gave you a couple of tips that maybe you didn't know, and at the very least let you know what I do, because that is what I have been asked to let you know. So thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And as always, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.